Yeah, and he was beside himself in one of the timeouts in the third quarter, uh, upset at himself on uh, how he was impacting the game, and we're all looking at him like, dude, come on, what are you talking about? But he came alive in that fourth quarter. And, you just can't really describe, what Jimmy's like when he gets like that competitive fierceness, um, where he can impact the game as well as anybody on both ends of the court. As the block, deflection, the denial at the end on the side out of bounds, and then just making some big time plays offensively going down the stretch. But we have a lot of those type A type competitive guys, and you saw a lot of that in that fourth quarter. PJ's loose balls and blockouts. He just had so many intangible plays that I literally, they will not show up on a box score, but they're just winning plays. Same thing with Kyle. He hit the big three, and so a lot of people will notice, that kind of thing, but you won't notice all the defensive things he did, the pressure, the tough plays that just helped us. And, quietly, I thought Caleb just gave us a really good boost to be able to just have somebody on Trey Young, pick him up and pressure him and just get him into the scheme, which is a whole lot easier said than done. So we had a lot of contributions, and that's not even saying how much our centers impacted the game. I think they ended up with almost 30 points and 19 rebounds combined. Both of them were very impactful.
Speaking of depth, you always told us, let me worry about that when I get to that. Today you did something I think a little unusual. I haven't seen you do very often, a full 5-man second unit. Is this the point now where you're sort of trying to cycle through things, see what works, what doesn't, combinations, things like that?
Yeah, look, I've said this before, these are high class, challenges, and these are the challenges we want. We're trying to, take on a big time challenge, this year. Uh, we love our depth, um, and we'll work through this as we start to get guys back. But I love the spirit of our group. I love the intention. Everybody's heart is in the right place. We'll work that out.
Omer obviously arrived as a skilled offensive player, but how much growth have you seen in touch around the basket since he arrived late last year?
You guys have no idea how many thousands of reps he gets in with Malik Allen. You know, um, Malik is such an incredible teacher, of the game and developing bigs. It's really a great um, uh, luxury and talent that we have, with Malik. And you have a very willing student. Omer came here open to all of what we're about, and we're not for everybody. And it's been brutalizing, for Omer, but he's responded to every bit of that, and he wants more. Every single day, no matter how tough it was the day before, he wants more. And you're seeing, the growth and improvement that's really exponential. But it's credit to both of them. They've been putting in so much time together. And UD, I've talked about UD, and then the minutes. For a young player, if you get minutes and you have them in these kind of pressure-packed games, and you do things that are productive, that just really helps your confidence.
Tyler definitely made some big plays down the stretch, but it seemed like there was a big swing at the end of the third quarter there where they went up 10, and then Tyler came down and hit that big three with about 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
Just how he's always seemed to be willing to take those end of quarter shots and kind of create something out of the random, nothingness of at the end of periods. How much does that kind of raise your offensive ceiling when he's able to create those kind of shots?
Yeah, he's so much more than just a shooter. Like we've talked about, so many different times. He's a shot creator. He's really improving as a playmaker. But it's those moments, you know, and you can't put an analytic to that, but it's a moment and a feel during a game when it's a big play to be made. He has a knack for that. And there was really kind of a blown coverage that I made, you know, at the end of the third quarter. I was just trying to generate, you know, some energy, and I kind of screwed that up. So I was really upset at myself, and ball got in, Kyle got it and kicked it ahead to Tyler. They're not waiting on the head coach, you know, to feel sorry for himself and beat himself up. They just went, and Tyler made a big time play, and that was a momentum swing right there. That was key. That was important. And he had a few of those at the beginning of the fourth quarter as well. The one in the corner, you know, stands out, you know, quite a bit. It's a great two-man action between him and Omer. I thought O showed great poise on that. The one that Tyler hit in the dead corner, you know, just to look at the second option and really make a good delivery on that pass.
You touched a little on PJ. Obviously, he closed at the 5, but it seemed like, you know, he switches onto Trey. He's covering a ton of ground off the ball. Just does any of that surprise you at all when I know he's a veteran, he's done this for a while, but does it surprise you the way he can operate on that end and just be able to recover when mishaps happen?
Yeah, you know, I've always really admired him as a competitor in this league. And until you get somebody in your building, you don't know exactly how they'll be. He's everything that we had hoped for. And then some, and then some after that, and then some after that. He's really everything. He's the vocal leader. He's holding guys accountable, and that can be the young guys with his encouragement, and then with the veteran guys, he can speak to them and be the absolute truth, eye to eye, and in a way where probably nobody else can talk to the other vets like that. But he's earned the respect of everybody. He just makes those winning plays. You know, a lot of these winning plays, they should show these at the rookie orientation. You know, for young players coming in, this is what winning basketball is about. Stop thinking about all these other things that you're hearing about the NBA. If you want to win and contribute to winning and impact winning, just look at this dive, look at this deflection, look at this rotation, look at this charge, look at this block out. You could have a highlight film of things that nobody will notice that PJ does, but everybody on the teams that he's played for, and in particular our locker room, we all know that about him.
So you obviously threw a lot of different looks out there at Trey. Jimmy and Caleb, Kyle, PJ all spent different times guarding him. There towards the end of the game, you threw Caleb onto him, and then you had Lowry guarding Gallinari. I noticed you had him there just in case the screen was coming so they could switch there. How do you feel about, I know you went to talk about PJ's winning plays. How about Lowry in this case and just everything that he did on the defensive end towards the end of the game?
Yeah, but great players, great offensive players force you to cycle through a lot of different coverages, different people on them. And then you just have to find a way to figure it out in the fourth quarter. And that's where we were. He was really controlling the first 3 quarters of the game. He was getting to wherever he wanted to. He was making every play when there was a momentum play that needed to happen. And then he started to get rolling there. So Caleb, I think, just changed the dynamic a little bit, but then you have very savvy, experienced weak side defenders that could cover up and make the appropriate reads on different schemes. And that was Kyle a few times, that was Jimmy rotating a few times, and that was PJ. You know, so all of that worked very well, and we needed all of that because, you know, Trey, he's just he's so skilled in his range. So you have to do things that you normally don't have to do.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.